Hello, you are listening to Dr. Sushma Singh. Today in Unit 4 Sustainable Development, let us start our lecture with the topic Concept of Sustainable Development as defined in Our Common Future 1987. The definition of the term sustainable development, its meaning, requirements, policy objective, and suitable strategy, as mentioned in the report Our Common Future, have been briefly dealt with below. The first one is sustainable development definition and meaning of the concept. The definition of the concept of sustainable development put forward in the report titled Our Common Future 1987 is: sustainable development is development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. It contains within it two key concepts. The first is the concept of needs, in a particular and essential needs of the world's poor, to which overriding priority should be given. And the second is the idea of limitations imposed by the state of technology and social organization on the environmental's ability to meet present and future needs. In order to understand the meaning of the definition, let us understand the core issues addressed in the above definition. First is the issue of economic growth. The economic growth is not only considered as essential for poverty reduction but also for meeting human needs and aspiration for better life. Second is the issue of limitations of the environmental's ability to meet the needs of the present and future generations. Due to the pressures generated by growing societies are using modern technologies for extracting and utilizing natural resources, which are limited. If we continue to exploit existing limited natural resources, future generations will not be able to meet their own needs. Thus, the environmental ability to meet present and future generation needs has certain limits. This realization is clearly reflected in the definition. Thus, the concept of sustainable development is based on an integrated view of development and environment. It recommends pursuance of development strategies in order to maximize economic growth from a given ecological milieu on the one hand and to minimize the risk and hazards to the environment on the other. For being able to meet the needs and aspirations of the present generation without compromising the ability to meet those of the future generations. In short, the above definition of sustainable development implies that we should directly our efforts towards the redressing the damage already done to the environment by either unsustainable patterns of economic growth, and we should follow such a pattern of development which avoids further damage to the planet's ecosystem and ensures meeting of the needs of present as well as the future human generations. Now let us turn to the second point, sustainable development requirements. While elaborating the concept, the report Our Common Future 1987 also brings out the requirements of sustainable development. For a better understanding of the concept, some of the important requirements of the sustainable development can be highlighted. It is also added that in essence, sustainable development is a process of change in which the exploitation of resources, the direction of investment, the orientation of technological development and institutional change are all in harmony and enhance both current and future potential to meet human needs and aspirations. Now let us discuss the next point, sustainable development policy objectives. The report Our Common Future 1987 also recommends that in order to move on the path of sustainable development, all nations are required to bring about certain policy changes. It has been noted that critical objectives for environment and development policies that follow from the concept of sustainable development include reviving growth, changing the quality of growth, meeting essential needs for jobs, food, energy, water, and sanitation, ensuring a sustainable level of pollution, conserving and enhancing the resource base, reorienting technology and managing the risk, and merging environment and economic in decision making. Now let us go to the next point, sustainable development suitable strategy. Regarding suitable strategy, the report Our Common Future 1987 notes in its broadest sense that the strategy for sustainable development aims to promote harmony among human beings and between humanity and nature. In the specific context of the development and environment, the pursuit of sustainable development requires a political system that secures effective citizen participation in decision making, an economic system that is able to generate surpluses and technical knowledge on a self-reliant and sustained basis, a social system that provides for solution to the tensions arising from disharmonious development, a production system that represents the obligation to preserve the ecological base for development, a technological system that can search continuously for new solutions, an international system that fosters sustainable patterns of trade and finance, and an administrative system that is flexible and has the capacity for self-corrections. These requirements are more in the nature of goals that should underlie national and international action on development. Let us now turn our attention toward the critique of the concept of sustainable development in our next lecture. Here we want to close our today's lecture. Thanks for listening.